Welcome to the Plant-Based Podcast. Did you know that plants are truly amazing? Not only can you grow them and eat them, you can also wear them, drink them, nourish your skin with them, and so much more. Let Ellen and Michael inspire you to love plants as much as they do, as they chat with the movers and shakers in this wonderful plant-based world. So, let's dig in.
This final episode of Series 5 is sponsored by our friends at Three Spirit Drinks. Do you want to keep the podcast party going until the next series? Then grab yourself the Livener and party on with the exhilarating botanical tastes of berries and green tea. If you need to chill after a series packed full of plants, unwind with flavours of pure maple syrup, ashwagandha, white willow bark, vanilla and so much more in the nightcap. Give the popular social elixir a try too. Find out more at threespiritdrinks.com. Three Spirit Drinks are not recommended for anyone pregnant or breastfeeding. Children and anyone on medication should consult their doctor before consuming. The Livener includes natural caffeine from the Guayusa plant, and when drinking nightcap, we recommend not operating heavy machinery directly after drinking.
Hey guys, Mr. Plant Geek here. Just wanted to have a little word with you in advance of Series 5's final episode. So this is our final episode with Free Spirit Drinks, so we'd like to thank them very much for their support. It's also a Christmas special, so throughout the podcast you will have little messages from our favourite podcasters just wishing you a Merry Christmas. There's everything from well-being through to Madonna. Well, through 6 degrees of separation, but nevertheless. Also, we've got a quiz towards the end, so that is really exciting, or so we think anyway. You can play along at home, so there is a Google form online. We will put the link to that in the episode description for this podcast, so you can play along. So you can actually fill it in along the way, and hopefully you will get a top score. What you need to do at the end, because there's a chance to win a prize. When you've completed the quiz, screenshot your score and send it to either Ellen or I, or send it through to Plant-Based Podcast on social media. And the prize to the top scorer, if there's more than one top scorer, we will draw them out of a rabbit's hat. Is that the right way to say it? I'm not sure. But the prize will be £40 of credit, and that will be split between Ellen and I's shops. So you get £20 to spend on Ellen Mary Gardening and £20 to spend on MrPlantGeekShop.com. So there's an incentive if ever I heard one. So I hope you enjoy the episode. Final of Series 5. Next week is a best of. So all of those favourite episodes of mine and Ellen Mary's. And then we're on to our winter sessions. So thank you very much for joining us through this series. And I hope you enjoy the gossip, the greetings, and the quiz. Good luck. See you later, guys.
Hello, ho, ho. It's Kate Thornton here from White Wine Question Time, the podcast that asks its guests 3 thought-provoking questions over 3 glasses of wine. But aside from a tipple, I also love a plant, preferably of the potted variety. So I know that you are all plant-based folk, and I just wanted to wish you all a very happy new year, a happy and healthy one, for that matter. And hopefully I can come and chat plants with you sometime in 2022. Much love.
Hello, Ellen and Michael. It's V here from the Podcaster Pod, and I would like to wish you and your listeners a very Merry Christmas. Since only being created earlier this year, I'm very much looking forward to my first Christmas. I'm just hoping that any side effects I might get from Brussels sprouts won't clog up my control systems too much. Have a great Christmas. Goodbye.
Happy Christmas, Mr. and Mrs. Plant Geek. I beg your pardon? Of course they're a couple. Really? No. Happy Christmas, you two, and thank you for your fantastic podcast this year. From me, Mike Palmer, and the Mike the Gardener podcast listeners, wishing you all the very, very best for a beautiful Christmas. Oh, I've got to go. I think he's just arriving. Happy Christmas!
Welcome to the Big Fat Plant-Based Podcast Quiz of the Year. Yes, that's 5 rounds of questions, 4 questions in each round, all about the world of horticulture. So we hope that you have kept your eye on the what's what and the who's who in the world of gardening from online and, of course, in the plant world. So first of all, the first 4 questions are about planty people online. So get ready to answer your questions on the website, that's theplantbasedpodcast.net, where you'll find the form to fill in. And we will soon find out who is the winner. So planty people online. Question 1. Who has a dog called Nell? Who has a dog called Nell? Question 2. Who is building their own homestead in Suffolk? Question 3. Who has a beautiful new baby boy named Rowan? And question 4. What is the 5-Minute Gardener's young apprentice called? And here's a hint. He contributed to the last series of the Plant-Based Podcast.
On to the next section, the Plant-Based Podcast team. Question 1. In which American state does Ellen Mary spend 90% of her time? Is it California, North Carolina, or Washington? Which English county does Mr. Plant Geek live in? Shropshire, Cornwall, or Suffolk? Do you know which fashionista helps out behind the scenes for the Plant-Based Podcast? Zoella, Chiara Fanagi, or Jen-Lou Meredith? Final question. Do you remember the first ever Plant-Based Podcast episode? What was the subject? Veggie-Pod, Cambridge Bees, or plant-based pots?
Round 3 is about your Christmas plant knowledge. So this is a good opportunity for you to show off just what you know about Christmas plants. From which country does the poinsettia originate? Which of these rooms is the Christmas cactus happiest in? Which flowering succulent plant is popular at Christmas? Which Christmas tree was gifted and stands in Trafalgar Square?
Okay, on to the 4th round. New season, new plants. What is the new hybrid plant between agave and manfreda? Is it manfrave, mangave, or anfreda? Question 2. What is the newest agapanthus coming to the market very soon? Emerald Isle, Ruby Isle, or Sapphire Isle? Third question. Which of these is not a tomato? Sweet aperitif, moneymaker, succulent crimson. And finally, which plant won Chelsea Plant of the Year? Cercis Eternal Flame, Kale Rainbow Candy Crush, or Limonium Dazzle Rocks?
Do you know at what time of year you should be cutting back plants and pruning and deadheading? Well, this round is all about what do you do and when. And this is the last round of the Plant-Based Podcast quiz. When would you cut back fuchsias? Which month is often claimed to be the best for tulip planting? What season is bare root planting best? And what month should the Chelsea chop be undertaken?
So there we have it, the big fat plant-based podcast quiz of the year. How did you get on? Did you fill in online at the same time? I very much hope you did. And you should be able to now click through and you will find out your score. If you're proud of your score, if it's, say, 30-ish, then why not drop us a line? Why not screenshot the score and send it to Ellen or Michael or the Plant-Based Podcast? And you could be in with the chance of a prize because the top scorer If there's more than one top scorer, we will draw them out of a hat. But the winner will then get £20 of credit to spend in Ellen Mary's shop and £20 of credit to spend on Mr. Plant Geek's shop. So there we are. There's a great incentive to take part. I really, really hope that you enjoy it, and we look forward to seeing those entries. Thank you for joining us.
Hi there, it's Stuart.
Hi, loves. It's Joe.
And it's Sean.
From Unflopped, the podcast. Michael and Ellen, we just wanted to wish you a very Merry Christmas. We're big fans of the Plant-Based Pod. In fact, one of us is actually plant-based himself. Is that right, Joe?
Well, that doesn't mean I am a plant. It just means I eat plants.
Plants and only plants. Sean, do you have any special questions for the expert gardeners on the Plant-Based Podcast?
How do I stop killing succulents?
That's a good question. I have a purple shamrock that's now down to 4 single stems. I'd love some help with that, Michael and Ellen. Joe, anything?
Well, I thought I would be very exciting this year and I would order a Christmas tree, like a proper Christmas tree, you know, like a live Christmas tree. I thought that'd be really exciting and I could like bring it in every year and it could be part of the family. So excited. And it arrived yesterday and I didn't really check the measurements and it's about the size of 2 mugs stacked on top of each other.
Wow.
So that's going to take me 2 seconds.
The size does
take me 2
matter.
seconds.
So what you need to know is how to grow a Christmas tree from like a foot to 6 feet in about 2 days. That's quite a challenge.
Yes, in like a week.
Well, there you are. You didn't ask for questions, but you got some questions. We just wanted to wish you and your listeners, everyone at the Plant-Based Pod, a very Merry Christmas. Love from us and the Unflopped family. Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas!
Hello, Michael, Ellen, and all you lovely listeners of the Plant-Based Podcast. It's Genevieve here from Celebrity Catch-Up, Life After That Thing I Did, and I'm just stopping by after one of my celeb trips down memory lane to say, I don't know about you, but I'm so excited for Christmas, I wet my plants. But seriously, I wish you all a very Merry Christmas and a happy 2022. Now, where did it go? I hate it when my bay leaves.
Merry Christmas. This is Lisa Snowdon. Dear Michael and Ellen and all the Plant-Based Podcast listeners, I hope you have the most amazing Christmas. A happy new year. Here's to 2022 and for it being a much better, healthier, happier year. Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas.
Hello, Plant-Based Podcast. This is Alex.
And I'm Rob.
And we are from the Wolford Weekly Podcast, your weekly EastEnders podcast. And we are here to wish you both a very, very Merry Christmas. Rob, what are you going to do this Christmas?
I'm going to eat and drink until I explode all over the place. Turkey, pigs in blankets, and all other sorts of meat and Christmas comestibles. You?
Oh, I mean, I might join you, but in a much more plant-based way. See what I did there, Rob? See what I did there?
Smooth.
Have you got your Christmas decks up yet? Because ours are up months ago.
Everywhere. I put mine up in April.
Did you? I mean, I suppose there is normally some kind of holiday in April, Easter, so I suppose it makes some sense. If you pop some eggs in the tree, you'll be fine.
I've got a bunny made of tinsel stuck on my wall the entire year. Merry Christmas, Michael. Merry Christmas, Mary Ellen, and a happy new year from us.
Merry Christmas!
Oh my God, no way.
Recording is in progress.
Yeah? What, you switched over that quickly?
Yeah.
Oh, well done.
Oh, thank you. My technical skills are amazing.
Hi, Ellen Mary.
There is no surprise to me that you are in bed.
Oh, come on, it is 9:30.
Because every time we do our gossip, you are either in bed or, of course, at your desk, but more frequently in bed.
I'm trying to very nicely accommodate your working day as well as mine. So that's why. And also, I have numerous bones to pick with you. 9 p.m. onwards.
Yeah.
So we record it from 9 p.m. Not we start any time from 9 p.m.
But doesn't that depend on the context? Like our messages were, you wanted to be flexible because you didn't know what time you'd be at the hotel. So we ended up saying, okay, well, we would record 4 p.m. onwards. Like my interpretation of that is that it would be at some time from 4 p.m. But as it so happens, considering I wasn't even in the building at that time, we still started at 4:15. So I'd say that wasn't bad.
All right, I don't know. You're annoying anyway. Right, what was I saying? What was I gonna do? I don't know. You can probably tell that I'm in you can tell I'm surrounded by a purplish light. I am sponsored by Premier Inn today.
You look like your aura is pink right now.
I look ethereal.
Yes,
is that
you
the right
do.
word? Have I pronounced it right?
Yeah, is that that's definitely how you look right now. Tell us where you are. Tell us where you are.
No, I can't. I'm on social media blackout. Am I? No, I don't know.
I very much doubt that.
I don't know. No, I went to Eden Project yesterday.
Was it amazing?
Where have you been to the Eden Project?
Yeah, but probably about 7 years ago now. 6 or 7 years, I think. Yeah.
Was it amazing then?
I loved it. I really loved it. I guess also maybe depends on the time of year. Actually, we were there for New Year, I think. So I think it was December.
Uh-huh. Well, I don't know. It's funny because I went when it first opened and it feels different now. I didn't feel as... Or maybe I've grown myself and maybe... I know that I'm going to sound like a complete prick here, but because I've now kind of in the years since I've been there, I've probably not been there for like maybe 10 years or even since it first opened, like maybe a couple of years after that. And since then, I've probably seen more of these plants like in their natural context. So then going back there today, it kind of like didn't really grab me the way it would have done in the past.
Oh, but isn't it still nice to see the plants there like growing in the UK?
Yeah. No, definitely. And it's obviously very nicely put together, etc. But yeah, it's just, it wasn't such a voyage of discovery as it would have been, before. So
well, that's fine. You don't sound like a prick because it wasn't a voyage of discovery. You just sound like a prick, full stop.
That's true. Do you know what I didn't like though? Well, a couple of things really. It's always frustrating in a place like that, the balance of like, do you label everything and then have like labels everywhere you look? Or do you label the things that are more important? But then you're kind of then always going to have things that are unlabeled in that case. So I'm like, I want a label on that. What's that? Where's that label? Oh, stuff like that, which is a bit like, oh my God. And also because it's Christmas and they've got like the Christmas lights on in the evenings and I was going to hang around for it. But then to be honest, Ellen Mary, the lights really annoyed me because they got them on like in the day in the domes, the different colours. And I couldn't take any accurate, nice picture of any plants because there's like blue light shooting up in this direction or green light and stuff. So
how dare they do that?
I know. So
especially knowing that you were going along, they should have turned those lights off.
Oh, but some positive stuff, Ellen Mary. I have to say, the prices in the shop for the plants in particular are really, really keen. They're really good prices. Yeah. And you wouldn't necessarily expect that. So, yeah, I was really impressed with that.
That's excellent.
I didn't buy any lunch, so I can't report on lunch prices because I had my own little packed lunch Cornish pasty.
Oh, you little cutie.
When do I ever take a packed lunch? Who am I? Oh, dear. Anyway.
So how long did it take you to drive there? Like, did you do it all in one go or stay somewhere on the way?
It took about a week and a half. Not really. No, I went on Sunday. Oh my God. My battery's on 10%. That's never happened before.
So I like to see how prepared you are for this then.
Shut up.
How rude is that?
Well, how rude is it? I'm like efficient 98.7% of the time. So don't pick on me, Melon. What did you ask me? How long did it take? I don't know, like 6-7 hours? I don't know. I went. It was so foggy driving down.
Was it?
I couldn't even see Stonehenge.
Oh, that would have been ethereal.
It's the what's it tomorrow? The shortest day, isn't it?
It is. It's the solstice.
Yeah.
Tomorrow. Yeah. So it's going to start getting lighter again. Hooray!
Although not immediately.
So, what plants have you seen at the Eden Project that were really cool, though? Were there any stand out? You know, if anyone wants to go and visit, what they should go and look?
They got massive, Solandra, which is the big, it's like a big golden chalice flower. That is completely clothing like the kind of back rock face where the waterfall is. That's looking pretty epic at the minute.
Right.
Lots of Funbergia around as well, the kind of Alata type. I think from a distance, maybe not the blue one, but there was Iphemia, the Morning Glory, like the Indica one, was looking pretty cool. There's a really cool crop of chocolate there, actually.
Is there?
Yeah. They've got loads of pods on them. They're really, really nicely grown. Yeah, definitely. What else? The Mediterranean one was looking pretty swell, actually. Yeah.
I remember they had like a huge, a banana plantation when I went. Do they still have that?
They got one outdoors.
Yeah.
As well as indoors. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Nice citrus display. There's a Buddha's hand there as well. Are you writing this down?
No, actually, I am writing, but I'm not writing what you're saying. I just had something pop into my mind, and I thought if I don't write that down now, I'm never going to remember it.
Oh my God! So that's why you asked me about what plants were there, because this is just filler.
No, it came afterwards.
Just padding.
I'm sorry.
And lots of lovely kangaroo paw, Iniga xanthus. That was looking pretty good. Hey, can I ask you a question about Cornwall?
You can, go for it.
Sorry.
I don't know anything about Cornwall, but sure.
This town called Mevagissey?
If that's how you pronounce it, yeah.
Well, I don't know. I wondered if it was Mevagissey. And in my head, Mevagissey sounds a lot better. It sounds like a kind of cool witch, doesn't it? Mevagissey. Yeah. But anyway, by the by, I went to Tregothnan, which is where they grow the tea.
Right.
Yeah, but it's not, you have to book a tour in advance, and they're not doing them again till the new year. But I just rocked up there at the little shed, and the guy was like, "Oh, can we help you?" I was like, "Okay, to look at the tea." And he told me like the roads that I could drive down to look at it from the road. But I didn't quite get to the right part, or I think there was a part where I then had to walk. But those roads, oh my God, they're so small, Ella Mary.
I know.
There was one road when I drove just before I got to Penzance today to Lizard Point.
Right.
And when you're driving to the car park, literally the road there was probably only an inch either side of my car, if that.
Were you panicking?
It's just weird because what can you do? Do you know what I mean? It's almost like, I don't know, anxiety building, because what but what can happen? I
remember when you did get a scrape on your car, you were gutted. You were really annoyed about it.
Oh my God. I remember many, many years ago when I was not at school, when I was at work. And I went on a Greek holiday with one of my friends, and we'd rented a car, and we were gadding all over the island. And I remember we went down one street, and it really did get narrower and narrower, and it became a footpath, and so we really couldn't go down it anymore, and we had to then reverse this little Renault Twingo back up the road. It was so strange, and oh my God, it's just, I don't know, having a car getting stuck is just the weirdest feeling, isn't it? I don't know why it's so weird.
We got stuck in we were in a tiny little car. We were trying to get over the other side of the island, maybe Bali. No, Antigua. It was when we were in Antigua, and we hired a car, and we really did go the wrong way, and some people came and helped us, which was very, very nice, but I genuinely was internally very panicked. What can you do? The car was literally stuck down this tiny little track.
Oh my God, we actually had that in God, it sounds like we're two really boastful middle-aged women. I was gonna be we had that problem in Seychelles a couple of years back as well. But we totally did. the car almost like ground out on this bit where it was rocky ground that went down and then up again.
Right.
And it was almost stuck in the middle of that. Oh my God, it's horrible. And there was another bit where, it was slid off the side of this like bit in a car park. And the only way we could get back up was by making this like little mountain of coconut husks.
That is scary. Anyway, enough of cars, don't you think?
Oh my gosh, Ella Mary. When are you off on your trip? Tomorrow?
Wednesday morning. So it's Monday afternoon now here. So I've got all day tomorrow to get everything prepared. And then we leave about 5 a.m. on Monday morning.
Can you get there in a whole day or not?
It's about 16-hour drive. Plus we're taking the dog. So that means lots of stops. And usually... we're going from Charlotte, North Carolina to Houston in Texas. Usually we stop in Alabama. So we will drive kind of 10-ish hours, stop over in Alabama and then just do the rest the next day. But my husband has decided that he wants to do the whole trip in one day. So we're gonna see how it goes.
So you get there at like 10 p.m. or something?
Yeah, what we're gonna do is we're gonna plan to do that. But if we're tired and if we need to stop, we will stop and like book a hotel. Like,
at least there's two of you, you know?
There's two of us, yeah. And like last time I couldn't drive because I hadn't got my license here. So now I've got my license, I can drive. So we will take it in turns. On the way back, we're going to Florida. So we're gonna go and spend so we'll leave Texas, drive through to Florida, spend a few nights there before we come back. So the drive back will be much easier. But yeah, I'm totally shattered. Like I've had a flu jab, a booster jab, a general anesthetic, all within 6 days. And I feel literally smashed. Like I can't even open my eyes. Like, I'm trying to talk to you. My eyes are like this.
See, Ellen, this is a good time to start coffee. See, these are points where that helps.
So yeah, we've just got so much to do and I'm just half asleep basically right now.
Oh my God, Melon. Well, I'm like, not because I don't like Christmas, but I'm just glad when it's all over because then it's like everything is then just like normal days and weeks because like you just now, you weren't sure what day it was. And it's like, it's that horrible. Yeah. It's just, oh my God, it's just stupid. I hate it.
It completely is. Like I'm not.
I just want to get on with the new year.
We're both complete Grinches, aren't we? But honestly, when Christmas is over, I genuinely then relax. Like, you know, people relax for Christmas. I'm like, no, I just want it to go back to normal. I want it to go back
I'm the same.
A normal
and
day.
It's just like, I don't know. And it's like, and everywhere and everyone, like driving down, I'm listening to like cool podcasts and stuff. But when I'm like, going through the like radio stations, like listening to different ones, it's like I listen for like 4 minutes and the Christmas song comes on and they have to then switch to another one. It's like, Jesus, just and then there's all these things and then you turn on the TV and it's like how to cook the perfect Christmas meal, and then there's magazine articles like how to avoid anxiety this Christmas, la la la. Well, by not writing about it first of all, do you know what I mean? It's like just everywhere is reminding you of it. It makes it so not optional.
I think we've said that before. Like the main thing for both of us, you get no choice. Like you have no choice. You literally have to celebrate it, and it's like, what? Why? I don't get it.
Well, Ellen, while I'm mid-rant anyway.
Yeah.
I wasn't even drunk, but the next day I put it down to drunk tweeting, on Saturday night, and Ellen, I was really brave, and I let the world know that I do not like Ed Sheeran's music. Or him, really, to be honest.
Oh my gosh.
But do you know what, Ellen? Do you know what really, really was interesting? There are a lot of people with the same affliction. So this gave me a bit of wind in my sails. So then I told people I don't like Adele.
What did people say?
Well, of course, like social media is like such irritation because people just pick your words apart. So of course then it's like, well, do you mean her music or do you mean her? And then it's like, well, on one hand, like even if I did mean her, that's okay. Do you know what I mean? And then, but like, I don't really. Well, first of all, to explain, like the music. First of all, I always think with these big artists that, like Ed Sheeran. Let me talk about him first. Like he's now making music in every genre. which I think is a bit unfair, because that doesn't then give different artists and unknown artists a look in. And it would be nice, he then collaborates with big name artists. It'd be nice if they collaborated with some lesser known artists. And there's a lot of cool music out there, not just all this kind of commercially known stuff. And the same to Adele, really. And I mean, I'm not into ballads, but that's not the reason not to like her. But it's like, I want to kind of shine a light on people that are lesser known. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, but that doesn't mean you have to dislike her. It just means you want to shine a light on lesser known people. So is it that you dislike her?
Yeah, but I also don't like her. Well, no, I like her, but I don't like her music. Yeah, but it's okay. But this is where I'm a bit puzzled these days, Ellen Mary, because it's okay not to like people. And someone replied to my tweet and they said, what did they say? They said, I can't believe that you've put something out here like this. I think especially you should understand in your position of, being in entertainment. I don't know if it's in entertainment, but it seems I am. That this can be really damaging. Do you know what I mean? It's like, well, first of all, on one hand, like me saying I dislike an artist, I'm not sure that's going to damage their career. I'm not kind of, I'm not so highly influential, but also it is okay not to like something. It's okay to hate something, is it not? It's just kind of weird that you can't voice that. It's really strange because on the flip side, Ellen, if someone said to you that they don't like you or they hate you, I guess everybody always sees hate as a really strong word. Okay, let's tone it down for the purpose of this discussion. If someone said they disliked you, Ellen, what would you do with that?
Well, nothing really.
Exactly.
Nothing.
And it's absolutely okay for someone to say that, because if someone doesn't like me, they can say that. That's their opinion. They can even put that on Twitter. That's okay.
I think
when did the world get so sensitive?
I totally agree with the fact that we should all be able to say how we feel. The only difference when you say something like that you don't like a person as such is that they might take that harshly, or you don't know what's going on with them in their life. So that, not with Adele, because Adele is a massive superstar, but for some people to be told they're not liked would really upset them. You and I, it doesn't. And equally, if it wasn't about a person, but about, the music or, I don't know, a plant or anything in life in general, we have lost the ability to be able to say what we really feel or what we really think. And I find that really obscure, because actually that just breeds frustration and it makes people angry and cross and bitter because you're not able to express how you feel. Yeah, it's very weird.
And also, if someone did say they disliked me on social media or Instagram and that did upset me, then I'm kind of I can't hold them really responsible for that, because they were just putting out how they felt, and they wouldn't have any idea of, I don't know. I just believe we can't have a perfect world where, no one's ever going to offend anyone or not. And surely part of building stronger is to be offended and to get hurt. Maybe to some degree.
Do I dare mention the Charles Dowding tweet the other day on our podcast? I'm so scared to even mention it, and it's not even my tweet, and I didn't even answer it. But
it's up to you.
I'll be super brief. So Charles Dowding had posted a tweet that he is he supports not having vaccine passports, and he got a barrage of crap basically for it. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Well, it's very strange, Ellen, because I actually tweeted this at the weekend because it came into my mind. It was well, we don't all have to think the same thing. We don't all have to like the same thing. We don't all have to have the same opinion. And just because someone doesn't have the same opinion as you, or if somebody has an opinion that you think is absurd or incorrect, as long as that opinion isn't hurting someone unnecessarily, then it's surely okay to disagree. And I think we're we're losing the art of discussing things. And if people do think the opposite thing, then I'm not going to kind of like, try and put them in a cupboard. I'm just going to want to find out why they think that way and learn from them. And just because I think this way doesn't mean that I might not think the other way or somewhere in the middle. Or, opinions can be a lot more fluid than I think people realize. And I think sometimes you can get locked into your opinion because you spoke up on it, but actually, it's okay to think something different, or, and also have your own opinion. Don't have the opinion that your clique tends to have as well. I don't know.
I think, well, the thing is, if we lose the ability to be able to debate openly and constructively and talk about opinions and feelings and, be able to educate and question and be curious, what will happen to us? We will all be robots, because that's all we will be. We will all have the same mindset. We will do the same thing. What an immensely boring world. We have to be able to talk about things without being immediately blasted for having an opinion. It's a weird world right now, isn't it? At the end of
and we
the day.
tend to think if someone's got an opinion that isn't mainstream per se, we are then led to believe that they're evil. But no, there's other ways to think about stuff, and let's understand why they think that way. Is there any is there any reason why they think that way and stuff that might actually be correct, or is there or why have they come to those conclusions? Do you know what I mean? Let's just keep our minds a little bit open.
Many people have opinions and thoughts based upon their environment and how they may have been brought up, the people that they mix with. And to just suddenly blast someone for saying something or having that opinion isn't helpful. I don't think that is helpful. We have to be able to have mature, constructive discussions about things. That's really the only way to educate people, So anyway, that was a little rant, wasn't it? Honestly. I'll tell you something. Please don't open up the envelope I've sent you with your Christmas present in it. Just send it back to me, because it was the Adele album.
Oh, that's okay. Did you send it to the premiere?
I'm only joking.
Well, I don't like her music, so there be it.
So
but there's always two sides to every story, and I think just because there's a very strong narrative on something doesn't mean that there might be nuances or things that aren't quite as they and something that actually came up in the last couple of hours on Twitter, and it's something that I really want to understand, Ellen Mary, but it's something that I'm very scared to try and understand, because it's something where it's this minefield. There's a lot of different information. There's a lot of big voices saying one direction, the other direction. There's also, if I potentially even asked the question online, people would then be jumping on it and stuff. And it's one of those, it's just one of those really delicate subjects that I think is not really progressing as well as it could, because people are not discussing it, perhaps. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, do you want to tell everyone what it is?
Oh, sorry. No, just... it's a very surprising thing that's happened, but I want to understand why it's happened. And there's a few prominent garden writers, nursery directors, etc., that have signed an open letter around the kind of peat debate, etc., talking about kind of some of the positive elements of using peat in compost. But then immediately, obviously, because that isn't the right thing, as far as everyone says, then of course they then attacked very quickly and were kind of like, oh my God, this is mad. And also in my head, I'm kind of like, well, that isn't quite the narrative. But then I'm looking at the names on this list and I'm thinking they're really high profile, and this would be, it's almost verging on career suicide for them to do that. But then, so the things that they're saying, I'd really like to see a debate in order to then really get to the bottom of it. And the things that they have said to defend Pete, what do they really mean? And what is it really about? And for myself personally, I don't understand the Pete debate enough at all. And, if someone's listening now, they're kind of like, well, go and educate yourself. But it's sometimes really hard to educate yourself, because there is nowhere that really gives you that kind of neutral report on stuff. Do you know what I mean? And so I don't know, like, if this other side have actually got points about the stuff, or they've just pulled it out of nowhere. But it's really strange. And I really want to see a very calm discussion, and then find that way to go forward. And then everybody is on board, with how it could be.
But that takes us back to what we were just saying about that calm discussion, being able to have the discussion without people flinging.
It's a shame.
So from what I can
still
tell,
feel strongly, but you can also listen to why someone thinks something differently.
So from what I can tell about this debate, it's saying that the harvesting of peat in peat bogs is bad for the environment. And I think that's been proven, hasn't it? But what they're saying is that sphagnum peat moss in raised beds or areas or something is good for the environment. And I don't personally get the difference between the two, so I definitely want to find out more. But like you said, it's very difficult to find your way through all of the information.
Yeah, I literally don't know.
Everyone has their agenda. Everyone has their agenda, don't they? So it's very difficult. But we do know that peat harvesting is bad for the environment. But apparently there's another way of it or something, and that's okay. But then in some of the comments, some people are claiming that that's completely incorrect and giving facts and figures. So it's so difficult to work your way through it and work out what is and isn't right. But I don't think the message wasn't claiming that, the use of peat is the right thing to do. No, I don't think they were saying that, but they were saying that sphagnum peat moss in this certain way in raised beds or something, I don't know, was right.
I'm not sure, but I would really like, I don't know, it'd be really nice if then the other side, as it were, then took all the things that they said and then kind of then explained them, or even just had those people in the room, just talked about it really calmly. But I don't know, we've really lost that ability to do that sort of thing.
Yeah, I think I'd like to learn a little bit more about it.
And
I really would like to understand it, but it might be useful for us also just to put, we'll put a post out on our socials, on Plant-Based Podcast socials, and see what our listeners have got to say about it as well, because it's really important, isn't it, to really know what we're doing for the future.
But the thing is, Ellen, and it just makes you scared. Do you know what I mean? It makes you scared to not even to voice your opinion, whether that is in line with what people are thinking or not, but it makes you scared to even start and be involved in those discussions. Do you know what I mean? Because and this is how the social media world has just become really bloody toxic, because even in the last 10, 12 minutes of us discussing this loosely, I'm already like, well, did we say that in the right way? What about, did we say that word wrong? And it's like, no, just give people a chance, honestly.
Yeah.
And oh my God. And so it just scares people off all the time. Do you know what I mean? And that is potentially what's happening all over the place. And it is just toxic, and it is downright stupid, in my opinion.
Shall I tell you something that did just make me giggle? Like, I agree, of course. However, this is like a Christmas special. We sound like proper serious Grinches.
It's really funny, Ellen, because we've just we've been pent up all year, and we've now kind of like let it all out in this. Merry Christmas. But you know
Merry
what, Ellen?
Christmas, everybody.
These sort of discussions need to be had, really, because it's just getting really daft, and you just can't, and it's just horrible. And the people that are fighting for different cases and stuff, they probably don't realize that they're then part of the problem by not allowing voices from every corner of the room to speak.
Yeah.
And also the people that don't understand, to actually help them understand, and not probably retort like, oh, go educate yourself or something, or do you know what I mean? And do you know what? And this is kind of then relating, across to, the VIRUS. VIRUS. Yeah. I never spelled that word out loud before. The virus stuff. Because it is really hard to get a proper, reliable smorgasbord of information on this subject. And it's becoming the same in a lot of other controversial subjects because there's just so much noise out there. And this is really, it's quite terrifying, really, Ellen.
Oh my God. I'm sorry, Michael, but now you are going to laugh so much. You know, I just told you off that your phone's going to run out of power.
Yeah?
Guess what's about to happen to my Mac?
Well, that's you all over, isn't it? You think you're so perfect.
It's just going to go to sleep any minute.
Oh
my God. Quick. Oh, plugged in.
Bless. But yeah, so that's my thoughts on it, really, Ellen Mary.
Yes, I know. It's a tricky world that we are all navigating right now, that is for sure.
But we do have a Christmas quiz. I don't know if it's going to be before or after this gossip, so you've either enjoyed it or you're about to enjoy it.
Either way, do enjoy it. Hello, puppy, come up and say hello. Come on.
Is your puppy called Puppy?
Puppy, come on. Good girl. I call her Puppy just because she's a puppy.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a puppy.
No, she's got very big.
It's like a full-size pig.
The reason why I've got her up is because she's going to start barking in a minute. And
I see. Because but you shouldn't really have a dog on the sofa, Ellen Mary.
Well, she doesn't really get up on it, to be honest. She only gets up if she's asked. She's very well behaved.
Oh. Does she sleep on your bed?
No, she has her bed next to our bed, though. But she doesn't sleep on the bed, no.
That's good. Well done.
She does get up occasionally, but once we get in, then she gets down. She's not interested. Anyway, happy Christmas to everyone. And I'd really like to say thank you to our contributors for Series 5 as well.
Go on, then.
Thank you. That didn't go as smoothly as I planned.
You're such a cringe bomb.
Yeah, I wanted. August Garden with vibrancy as always has been amazing, and of course, young Teddy from the 5 Minute Gardener.
Oh my God! Parsnips are 19 pence.
Teddy has brought some fun to the podcast, and from the kids' point of view as well. And who else have we had, Michael?
Joe doing the DIY.
That's useful information, seriously.
And she's so good at doing like I don't know what you call it, like the voiceover stuff.
She's got the skills.
I know, she really intonates so well. And also, to be honest, Nat does an amazing job as well with that.
Yeah, so Nat from
Nat on the Nursery.
Nat on the Nursery, yeah, she's amazing too, because she helps to run the Young Horts, doesn't she?
Yes, which is doing really good stuff, actually. So that's cool. My phone was on 7%. It was on 10. I think you're sapping all my energy, Ellen. Do you know, I have to say, I don't often watch TV dramas, but I've been in a hotel last couple of days, and there was a really good one on last night. And it was about it's quite complex. You might not get it. And it's on again tonight, but I missed it for this call.
What is it?
It's about it's about a guy that builds a really modern house. It's going to sound mad, whatever I do. He builds a really modern house, and then he interviews families to move into it.
Right.
And then and it turns out the house is then kind of treating them badly. I don't know. I've only seen the first episode, but certain stuff the house does.
Sounds rubbish.
I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure. It's mostly psychological.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have no idea what this
Maybe the house is kind of sort of haunted. It's very complex, Ellen. You would need a notepad.
I don't think I would. I just think I wouldn't bother watching it, to be honest.
Oh, really? No, this is my favourite sort of stuff, to be honest. Stuff that is just really kind of like I don't know, off the wall, a bit psychological, kind of not anything that's kind of scary or horror, but just stuff that's really intriguing.
I don't. Intrigue is fine, but a house that does things, that's just weird.
Well, no, because you don't know what it does yet. So how can you say it's weird?
Because that's how you're describing it, so it sounds weird.
Yeah, but I don't know anything yet. I can't see the second episode because I'm on this bloody call.
Okay, this is rubbish. In other news, shall we tell everyone what we're doing between Series 5 and Series 6?
All right, we're going to have a sandwich. No, I'll tell you exactly what we're doing because I wrote it down the other day, Ellen Mary.
Get you.
We are doing the winter sessions and we're going to have some episodes each, and my episodes are going to be incredible. And I'm going to chat to... Who am I going to chat to? I'm going to chat to somebody about marketing plants because I think that's a really cool thing to look at. And we're also going to talk about trends for 2022. That's a cool one to do. And we've got an episode together where we're going to play some games. You don't know about that yet.
I didn't know about any of these.
You haven't looked in the spreadsheet, have you, darling?
I'm now looking at it. Play some games together. Question mark, question mark. Very good. Yeah, so we're going to do a
what
couple
about you?
of
Have you got any ideas?
Well, we're going to do a couple of solo episodes, so they're yours. So I always love to do the wellbeing ones, but I'm thinking about doing ones that are a bit more to do with kind of, because I've been posting quite a lot about crystals and witchcraft and that kind of thing. But their connection to the natural, but their connection to the natural world and stuff, so kind of like folklore and myth and that kind of thing about witchcraft and stuff to do with herbalism and that kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Boris looks so tired.
Well, I expect he probably is, to be fair, like the rest of us. Everyone's tired of it.
I don't like him any more than I like Adele.
Ooh. Well,
but his music isn't bad.
It's been a pleasure chatting with you, but I have to go for a wee.
All right, darling, you probably got some hummus on the hob, haven't you?
No, I really do need to go to the toilet.
All right, well, happy Christmas, Ellen. I hope you have a nice time in Mexico, and I'll speak to you really soon.
Happy Christmas. I hope you have a nice time in Devon, and I'll speak to you soon.
You're so clever. Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening, everyone.
And enjoy all the special little Christmas messages that are sprinkled throughout this episode. Bye.
Hey, Flo, we need to be on standby. We've got to do that Christmas message, for that podcast with Mr. Plant Geek.
Oh, what more of I do? What do I say? What do I say?
Oh, hang on, just a minute. Oh, no, they're not ready for us yet, so we can just talk amongst ourselves.
Right. Okay. Here, have you opened your flaps yet this morning, Dottie?
I beg your pardon?
No, your advent calendar.
Oh, yeah. There were pictures of some mistletoe.
You're going to snog your bill under mistletoe later then, are you?
You'd have to catch me first. Oh, hang on. They're ready for us now.
Right.
Ready. 1, 2, 3.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Plant Geek.
Hey, will you help us grow our red hot pokers?
Oh, you can't say that.
I just did.
You can't take them anywhere, can you? And you can hear more from Florrie and Dottie on Distinct Nostalgia this Christmas, together with dozens of interviews and reunions, as we remember our favourite TV shows and films with the people who were there. Yes, I'm Ashley Byrne, wishing everyone at Plant Based Pod a very Merry Christmas and a fabulous New Year from everyone here at Distinct Nostalgia. Cheers.
And a Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Bye.
Hello, Michael and Ellen, and everyone listening. This is David from Right Back At You, the 2000s pop music podcast. Merry Christmas. Just want to say, as a fellow plant daddy, to quote Cheryl, you are right up my street. And speaking of 2000s pop, I just want to share that one of the highlights of 2021 for me was Jenny Frost of Atomic Kitten sliding into my DMs with some plant advice in response to an Insta story that I put up. Jenny encouraged me to talk to my plants to help them grow better. Now, I'm not sure how scientifically based that is, but thank you, baby, Jenny. Happy holidays, everyone. Lots of love.
Hello to the Plant Based Podcast and a very happy Christmas from Inside the Groove, your favourite Madonna podcast. Maybe in 2022 we should do a crossover. Inside the Grove, perhaps? Okay, maybe not. Anyway, just hope you and your listeners have a brilliant Christmas and all the best. Let's hope we all have a better 2022. Of course, it will be the year that we get Madonna re-releases. So definitely something to think about on that crossover there.
I'm Steven. And I'm Matthew from Plant Daddy Podcast. Here to wish you a Merry Christmas from Seattle.
And also wishing you luck with your amaryllis and Christmas cactus.
And wishing you many plant-related gifts this year. We're just here to send wishes with reckless abandon.
And listen, you have our full permission to gift plants to family and friends this year, whether they want them or not. We agree it's best for them.
Of course. Happy holidays and Happy New Year!
Thank you very much for joining us on the podcast today. This episode was brought to you with Free Spirit Drinks, the botanical trio of non-alcoholic drinks made entirely of plants. Why not visit the link in the podcast description to get 10% off your next plant-based spirit? What a way to start off 2022. The music for the Plant-Based Podcast is part of the song Grow by Mikey James, and our editor is Gareth Patch of Semi Echo.